Most of us have heard the phrase, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And that's absolutely true. But what you choose to eat matters just as much as whether you eat breakfast at all. Some foods that look harmless or even healthy can actually lead to problems like energy crashes, blood sugar spikes, and inflammation, especially for older adults. In fact, certain breakfast habits can make it harder to stay sharp, active, and energized throughout the day. The good news, avoiding just a few common mistakes can make a huge difference in how you feel today and how your body functions in the long run. In this video, we'll look at 4 breakfast foods that older adults should steer clear of. These are items that may seem comforting or convenient, but can secretly work against your energy, digestion, and heart health. And if you stay with me to the end, you'll learn some simple swaps that can completely transform your mornings for the better. Let's dive in. Number 1, sugary cereals and pastries. Pouring a bowl of cereal or grabbing a warm pastry might feel like a fast, easy way to start the day, but these quick fixes can set off a chain reaction of health issues, especially for seniors. The problem is that many cereals, even the ones marketed as healthy or whole grain, are packed with added sugars, preservatives, and artificial ingredients. In fact, some popular breakfast cereals contain more sugar than a candy bar. In pastries like muffins, donuts, and toaster strudels, they're often loaded with refined flour, unhealthy fats, and way too much sugar, giving you a brief energy spike followed by a crash that leaves you drained and sluggish. When your blood sugar jumps rapidly, your body has to release insulin to bring it back down. For older adults, this up and down cycle can cause fatigue, irritability, and an increased risk of insulin resistance. And over time, it can contribute to more serious issues like weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. Take Richard, for example. At 68, he began each morning with a cereal that claimed to be heart-healthy and whole grain. But by 10 a.m., he was always craving snacks, struggling to concentrate, and reaching for another cup of coffee. After his doctor suggested cutting out added sugars, he made a change, switching to a breakfast rich in protein and fiber. Within a few weeks, he noticed more energy, clearer focus, and no longer felt the need for those mid-morning pick-me-ups. Breakfast pastries can be even worse. Those tempting cinnamon rolls or store-bought muffins may offer a quick hit of satisfaction, but they're often full of trans fats, refined carbs, and artificial sweeteners, all of which increase inflammation, slow digestion, and do very little for your brain or heart health. So, what should you eat instead? Opt for meals that balance protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Instead of sugary cereal, try plain oatmeal topped with nuts, seeds, and fresh berries. If you like something creamy, Greek yogurt with flax seeds or chia seeds is a great choice. And if you're a fan of baked goods, consider making your own whole grain muffins at home using ingredients like mashed banana or applesauce for natural sweetness. The goal isn't to remove all enjoyment from your breakfast. It's about choosing foods that give you lasting energy and support your long-term health. Many older adults don't even realize how much sugar is sneaking into their morning routine. But that simple bowl of cereal or pastry with coffee might be dragging down your metabolism, mood, and well-being. By starting the day with smarter, more balanced choices, you can avoid the sugar roller coaster and set the tone for a healthier, more energized day ahead. Number 2, processed meats, bacon, sausage, and ham. For a lot of people, it just doesn't feel like breakfast without a couple of strips of bacon, a sausage link, or slice of ham. These savory favorites have been breakfast staples for generations. But while they're tasty and comforting, processed meats come with some serious health concerns, especially as we age. These foods are packed with sodium, saturated fats, and preservatives, all of which can contribute to high blood pressure, heart disease, and even increase the risk of certain cancers. One of the biggest problems? Sodium. Just one serving of bacon or sausage can contain more than half the recommended daily sodium intake for older adults. Too much sodium can cause your body to retain fluid, raise your blood pressure, and put extra strain on your heart. Over time, this increases the chances of heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular problems, even if you've eaten these foods your whole life without feeling the effects until now. Then there are nitrates and nitrites. Chemical preservatives found in most processed meats, when these are cooked at high temperatures, as they usually are, they can turn into compounds that are harmful to your cells and have been linked to inflammation in certain cancers, including colorectal cancer. Now let's look at someone like Elaine. She's 72 and for years started her mornings with bacon and eggs. It felt like a hearty, protein-rich meal, but over time, she began dealing with bloating and high blood pressure, and she never connected it to her breakfast. After a conversation with her doctor, she decided to cut back on processed meats and instead tried healthier options like eggs with avocado or smoked salmon on whole grain toast. Within weeks, she felt the difference. Less bloating, more energy, and better blood pressure readings. Some people might think, I only eat bacon or sausage once in a while. But here's the catch. Processed meats are usually eaten with other high-fat, high-sodium foods, like buttered toast, fried eggs, or refined carbs. So what seems like a balanced plate can actually be a heavy load on your heart and digestion. So, what should you eat instead? If you love a savory breakfast, there are plenty of healthier protein choices. Think eggs with sautéed vegetables, plain Greek yogurt with a handful of nuts, or even a tofu scramble if you're open to plant-based options. And if you still crave the taste of bacon or sausage, consider leaner versions made from turkey, or plant-based alternatives that use herbs and spices instead of chemical preservatives. Breakfast should set you up for success, not add to your health risks. By swapping out processed meats for more nourishing choices, you support your heart, manage your blood pressure, and start your day with the energy and strength your body needs. Number 3, flavored yogurts and fruit juices. A lot of people start their mornings with a cup of flavored yogurt or a glass of fruit juice, thinking they're making a smart, healthy choice. Yogurt has probiotics and juice comes from fruit. So what's the harm, right? Well, the truth is, many of these so-called healthy options are loaded with added sugars, artificial flavors, and preservatives, making them one of the worst breakfast choices, especially for older adults. Rather than giving your body the fuel it needs, these sugary options can trigger blood sugar spikes, digestive discomfort, and inflammation that only get worse over time. Take flavored yogurts, for example. They're often advertised as nutritious, but many of them contain as much sugar as a dessert. A single serving can pack 20 to 30 grams of sugar. That's about the same as a can of soda. When you eat something that's sugary first thing in the morning, your blood sugar jumps up fast. Your body responds by releasing a surge of insulin to bring it back down. For seniors whose metabolism naturally slows with age, this can lead to energy crashes, stubborn weight gain, and a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Then there's fruit juice. While it sounds healthy, most store-bought juices are stripped of their natural fiber and concentrated with sugars, even when labeled 100% juice. Without fiber to slow things down, those natural sugars hit your bloodstream quickly, spiking blood sugar and increasing your risk for insulin resistance, diabetes, and even fatty liver disease over time. Let's look at Margaret, age 74. Every day she drank a glass of orange juice with breakfast, thinking it was helping her get her vitamin C. But by mid-morning, she felt sluggish and found herself craving more sugar. When her doctor explained that her juice habit was throwing her blood sugar off balance, she made a simple switch. She started eating a whole orange instead of drinking juice. The result? More energy, better digestion, and fewer cravings throughout the day. Now, this doesn't mean yogurt or fruit are off the table. You just need to choose wisely. Instead of flavored yogurts filled with syrups and sweeteners, go for plain Greek yogurt and add your own natural toppings. Fresh fruit, a sprinkle of nuts, or a drizzle of honey. Greek yogurt is lower in sugar and higher in protein, which supports muscle health and keeps you full longer. As for juice, the better option is always whole fruit, like berries, apples, or oranges. These provide fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins without causing a sugar rush. And if you prefer something to sip in the morning, try infused water, herbal tea, or a small smoothie made from real fruits, veggies, and protein sources like seeds or nut butter. What you eat in the morning sets the tone for your entire day. By choosing breakfasts that are low in added sugar and high in fiber and nutrients, you can maintain steady energy, support digestion, and reduce long-term health risks. It's a small change with a big impact. Just by swapping sugary yogurts for plain ones and replacing juice with whole fruit, you'll feel sharper, more energized, and healthier as the years go on. Number 4, white bread and refined carbohydrates. For a lot of people, breakfast doesn't feel complete without something warm and familiar, like toast, a biscuit, or a bagel. These foods are easy, comforting, and have been part of morning routines for years. But here's the issue. White bread and other refined carbs are among the worst choices seniors can make at breakfast. They might seem harmless, but they offer very little nutrition and can lead to blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and sudden energy crashes. Refined carbohydrates like white bread, pancakes made with white flour, and most bagels are stripped of fiber, protein, and key nutrients. Unlike whole grains, which digest slowly and provide lasting energy, refined carbs break down fast and turn into sugar in your bloodstream. This causes a quick insulin response, and over time, it raises the risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cognitive decline. Many older adults don't realize that their morning toast or bagel could be leaving them hungry and tired just a couple of hours later. That's exactly what happened to Robert, age 71. He started every day with 2 slices of white toast, butter, and jam. It was a habit he'd followed for decades, but by mid-morning he was always dragging, reaching for another cup of coffee just to stay awake. When his doctor suggested switching to whole grain bread and adding protein, Robert was skeptical. But after just a few weeks of having whole grain toast with eggs or nut butter, his energy levels were more stable, his digestion improved, and he felt more focused all day long. One of the biggest dangers of white bread and other refined carbs is how they fuel inflammation in the body. Diets high in refined grains have been linked to chronic inflammation, a key driver of arthritis, heart issues, and even Alzheimer's. That's why it's so important for seniors to cut back on these foods and replace them with fiber-rich, nutrient-dense alternatives. So what's a better choice? Instead of white bread, sugary pastries, or heavily refined grains, go for whole grain options like sprouted bread, oatmeal, or whole wheat toast. These foods have more fiber and protein, which helps stabilize blood sugar and keep your energy levels balanced. You can take it a step further by adding healthy fats like avocado or almond butter, which support heart and brain health. Many people don't fully realize just how much refined carbs affect their energy, focus, and digestion until they try something better. Replacing processed breakfast staples with nourishing options can make a huge difference in how you feel and function each day. You'll likely notice better digestion, more consistent energy, and a reduced risk of long-term health problems. Breakfast isn't just the first meal of your day, it's the foundation for how your body performs, feels, and processes food for the rest of the day. Making the wrong choices in the morning, like sugary cereals, processed meats, flavored yogurts, juices, or white bread, can lead to sluggishness, blood sugar crashes, and serious long-term health concerns. The good news? Small changes can lead to big results. Swapping these foods for whole grains, healthy proteins, and fiber-rich fruits can help you stay full longer, keep your energy levels steady, and lower your risk for chronic disease. And if you've been eating some of these less than ideal breakfast foods for years, don't get discouraged. Change is always possible, and your body will absolutely thank you for making the switch.